What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So a few things I wanted to add before I actually get into the oil pump video. That video is probably since 2017, late 2017, mid 2018, while I was still assembling the motor. So a few things I wanted to add to that. So if you're watching it and the quality's not the best, or if I'm not explaining properly, feel free to just send me a comment or whatever. I'm assuming most of my viewers are just watching this just for, entertainment purposes. But if you're gonna do this to yourself, I wouldn't say it's a needed mod. One of the guy that was at the dyno with me, he had his FG2 dynoed. He made 440 stock on open motor. But I think when you're starting to get crazy power like how I made 571, and hopefully I can hit 6 and change when I go back and do a retune, I would advise just getting the Type S oil pump. As far as vibration, my car is loud. I have stiff bushings and all that, so stiff motor mounts. So at that point, complaining about vibration is petty. So you just gotta know what the purpose of your car is. Mine is not a daily driver, so vibration and all that noise and all that going on doesn't bother me. So the little tips that I have was, so here I have the K20Z3 girdle from the Integra project I had back when I was in Fayetteville. That was a fail, and it still haunt me to this day. But I still have my K20Z3 parts. I still have the block. I still have the Type S pistons on the A3 rods. So who knows, maybe I can get back into doing it and doing the VTEC killer setup on this one. I just have the girdle here just to show you guys, and I did mention it in the video. You notice that it doesn't have the hump. The girdle doesn't have the hump as the Z3 and also the K24s. So here I have is another Type S oil pump. This is the first one I ever bought, and it, as you can see, it's opened up. You don't have to trim it on this girdle because, again, it has a flat spots. And that's the reason why you have to trim it on your Z3 girdle. I also mentioned that you could go ahead and swap the girdles. I wouldn't do so. Now I was just talking shit out of my head. Mind you, the journal size for the mains are the same on the on the 2.0s. However, I just want to go through all that work. And on the A3s, if you notice here, it has a stud, and the oil pan is steel versus the Z3, the Z1, and the K20A2. They're all aluminum oil pans, so that's something you want to look out for. Most of the guys prefer the steel, from what I notice, because it will dent versus the aluminum, it will crack. So yeah, if I fit the oil pump on here, like I said, it doesn't need any machining. It doesn't need any grinding to fit. It fits, fits flush. You don't have to do any grinding. However, again, on the Z3 girdle, you have to grind. So I know these oil pumps are really expensive, and if you buy it as a kit, it comes with everything. Comes with the pump. Obviously, it comes with the chain, the guide, the tensioner, and the baffle. The baffle on these is a long piece versus if you have the balance shaft pump, it's a separate deal. I'll show pictures. I reused all the hardware from my Z3 except for one bolt, which is right here. On the balance shaft pump, it's a longer bolt. As for the outer edges, and I even have the balance shaft pump here, they're the same. They're same length as far as those 10mm bolts, but the one right here, you're gonna have to get that bolt. And I would recommend buying a brand new guide brand new tensioner, brand new chain. The tensioner might be the same on both pumps, however the guide is longer, so you have to swap the guide out. Make sure you have the guide for the Type S and the chain. It doesn't matter if you're doing a K24, K28, K20 head swap, or a full K24 swap. You want to get the components for the Type S oil pump. Other than that, everything's straightforward, man. It's not hard, and you just have to grind the pump down and make sure that oil jet, make sure you have that capped, as you won't have any oil pressure. So without further ado, you guys enjoy that video. Hope it helps you somewhat. Like I said, that video is probably mid 2018, late 2017. Now I'm comfortable that the car is running. It makes power. I can comfortably put these videos out. I didn't want to put these videos out and the motor is blown. Knock on wood, it doesn't, you know. But I didn't want to post these videos out and I've never had a running motor. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk about these shit and you never actually have a running motor for proof. So as you guys saw, the car made 571 stock internals. Type S oil pump that I ported myself. I even polished it too, which probably was not necessary, but I did port it and polished it. A next mod I want to try is to open this Allen, and upgrade the spring to help create more oil pressure. So that's something I'll be doing on my future K build, and hopefully that helps with oil pressure. So hope you guys like the video and stay tuned. Who's going to go to the video? So I will be modifying the PRV oil pump to work on the RBC block. I've done this on the K20Z3 rebuild. Same process. What I'm about to do for the oil pump to work, it has a notch here. The bottom of the oil pump is not going to clear it. So the OEM Honda pump, and they're not cheap. So if you don't want to do this, you can probably swap out for a PRV K20A2, K20Z1 girdle, if you don't care of having matching VINs, and so you don't have to be cutting out your oil pump, and it won't be necessary to tap this, because you have to tap this and plug it so you won't lose oil pressure. So I'm just gonna line it up and show you guys. As you can see, that port goes right here, so it's possible. And yeah, I gotta cut a good chunk of it out. So I'm gonna properly get this lined up, trace my lines, and start grinding. Alright guys, so this is just me outside. So I have I scribed the mark, but however, this is not all that's gonna need cutting. Still gotta cut all around here, and I may just need to end off where that last scribe is right here. So all this needs to be shaved. I have to keep in mind not to shave too much of this off, because that is where the tensioner, the guide, this is where the guide sits. So if I start, make sure taped up oil ports and the strainer. So I'm gonna start. Make sure I have gloves on. I'm using an angle grinder to do this. I'm sure there's other methods of doing this. Even if it would be easy if you had a plasma cutter, I guess. And just, you know what I'm saying? Plasma cutter would probably be quicker and a lot more precise. But I'm just gonna use wearing an angle grinder. Make sure you have some gloves on if you're not thick, but I try to be careful and have my glasses on. So this is how far I am as far as fitment. I still having a lot, not a lot, but some more to shave, so I can get this side of the port flushed. This side is flush, but it's sent at a angle because that piece on the girdle is blocking it. So shave some more and try to get this bad boy fit. It's gonna be scary, especially doing this your first time. Like I said earlier, just be careful, and when it sits flush, you should have to shave more on this side, but just be careful, do not shave all the way to the threading on that slot. So just take your time, fit, grind, and hopefully it works out. So this is where I'm at with the fitment. Got everything nice and flush. Just put the bolts in just to see how it sits. It's pretty good. You see, it didn't shave too much off of the guide bolt area. This gap, maybe I shaved too much, but I mean, not a big deal, as long as it clears. Now I'm having to move on to taking that jet out. I may need to run to the hardware store, get me an easy out, and pull it out. Because when I did it for the K20Z3, it had a different fitting. That's the correct way to put it. So this is the K20Z3 girdle, and as you can see, it's pretty flat versus the hump. I'm guessing it's for structural integrity. So, but then again, I don't think it makes any difference, you know, because again, the A2 has the same flat design. So I don't know what's the difference. If you guys know, I would sure like to know myself. And you can see when I did the oil pump, the K20Z3 job, I already drilled it and made thread. I don't remember what this is. I think it's M8 1.25, but I think some of them come threaded. The A3, mine didn't come thread with any threads, so I don't know how this is gonna be. So I'm gonna go get the easy out, see how it looks, and try to find the tap. It's been so long, and go from there. Get some Honda Bond. Probably reuse this because I never even put any Honda Bond on it, so probably use this and go from there. So again, oil pump sits flush. Again, next process is getting this out, and if I have to tap it, put some Honda Bond on the threads, and go from there. Alright guys, so got that jet out. What I did was, I'm going to try to retract my process, my procedure. Alright, so what I did was I had this easy out and just used my drill and drilled it out, or drill it inside of the hole, and I just pulled it out. Now I went ahead and already tapped the hole. I use a M8 1.25 tap, and I picked me up a bolt from Lowe's, and it turns right in. I guess if you're doing this with the engine inside the car, be careful with shavings. As for me, I just use my compressor and get some brake cleaner, spray it off, and then blow it off with some air compressor. Before I go ahead and do my final installation, I'm gonna go ahead and put some Honda Bond inside the threads and leave it to cure, and put me a washer on it, and that should be good to go. So that should be it for getting the PRB oil pump on your, I guess, RBC K20Z3 K24 motor. Now as far as, and this is more towards the K20, as far as timing chain and all that, or chain for the pump, I went ahead and got OEM Honda parts. One out of the OEM, still sealed, haven't even burst the packaging. This is the guide. Let me make sure I show you guys the part number. That's the guide. Bought a bunch of OEM stuff. This is the tensioner, brand new. And as far as the chain, I bought a bunch of stuff. As far as the chain, PCX, so I just went ahead and did everything PRB, you know, K20A2, K20Z1, and because I don't think the PRB, the RBC, the oil pump assembly is gonna work. So if I were you, I'll just go ahead. They should be on forums. Just go ahead and just use everything from the list that I show. If you're doing this, if you're not comfortable, just do it at your shop, your local shop, or whatever. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, OEM parts aren't cheap. Everything in that box came up to, I think, $400 some. So and that's just other things: timing belt, timing chain, tensioner. So as far as, again, with the oil pump, you know, that should be all. Hope I explained this as pretty thorough as I can. You know, I make these videos to help me to backtrack what I do, and hopefully you guys will learn something from it. So by the time you guys see this, the motors are in the car running, hopefully. So thank you guys for watching. Leave your love. Give me a comment if you don't know what to do. Hopefully I can go through the process with you. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.